All right, good evening. Welcome back. This view 2 hours ago was completely different. When I pulled up here, it was sunny, it was hot, 92 degrees was our high temperature. But things have changed. Storms that developed in the Florida Panhandle have drifted north, and this is our view now. So if you're getting ready to sit down, have some dinner with the family, you might be hearing some rumbles of thunder and big changes in the temperatures. We typically, if you look upstream, you look at northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, central Mississippi. Whatever's happening there about 24 hours out is usually what we get down here in southeast Alabama. So sunshine, but colder temperatures could be on the way. As you look at your Doppler, just a few clouds to contend with early on today, but those should be kind of breaking up here over the next couple of hours. Little green line that's moving out, that's what you call an outflow boundary, and that's how these storms form. So if we are going to see more development now that the sun's going down, it's not as likely, but it would be north of Enterprise, closer to Ozark, as that's where that cool air has now headed. Sustained force winds on this outer eye wall. Panama City being hit, Mexico Beach, Port St. Joe, all of these places along the Florida coastline are going to be hammered by around 12 o'clock. And that's right before landfall. Landfall will be at about 1 o'clock. Once that eye wall moves about halfway onshore, you'll still have your strongest winds right along the coastline. But now you've also integrated these other counties with those stronger winds. Bonifay, Mariana, Caryville, Alpha, these locations will start to see those winds pick up. Let's look at those wind speeds. I just kind of broke them down for you, but to just give you an idea, you get into these purples, and that's where we're talking about the tropical storm force winds up to hurricane force winds. Coming up on that Weewahitchka area, Lynn Haven seeing a little bit of rainfall, but for the time being, everything is looking a-okay out there, and will continue to be improving over the next couple of hours. See the few showers kind of winding down here as we head closer to mid-morning. Head now to early next week. The theme Sunday is going to be clouds moving in. So we're dry through the weekend, all right? This is 10 o'clock Sunday evening. Now you're getting ready for the work week, all right? We start you off 9 a.m. on Monday. Showers from Birmingham south to the state capital, I-65 corridor. By the middle of the day, we're looking at scattered showers and even a few thunderstorms. Now, it's too far out to say right now, but if we continue to have these southerly winds, we might have a little bit of turning in the atmosphere. We call that wind shear. We could end up seeing a couple strong storms. We're going to keep an eye on this out the Mississippi River. And then once, it moves a little bit further to the east, going to be fizzling out and not making it to us. And with that said, our Doppler radar is likely not going to be very active here over the next 3, 5, even 7 days. All right, good afternoon. Welcome back. Here is our view. An absolutely gorgeous one here. Picturesque look at the south side. Well, this is downtown, but looking towards the south side of Dothan. Temperatures, look at that, just shy of 70 degrees. We're headed to about 75, 76 later this afternoon. Fairly light rainfall from Andalusia all the way over to Dothan. And in between there, it's just very, very light. Enough to have you turn on your wipers for just a little while. Nothing embedded or very heavy that's going to give us any sort of decent rainfall totals, but we will see these kind of small pockets of rainfall here. That's how you tell.
And what's the difference between you waking up early and then doing this show? It's gotta be, this is your bedtime,
yeah,
right?
I'd be getting ready to go to bed right now, but here we are, late night on a Saturday. I love it. We'll have more.
We're happy to have you.
Now, this is going to sound weird. If you ever broken one in half and listened, it makes a really cool sound. When you break the Yorks in half, it's like it's got like this fluffy noise, like the filling. No, really, trust me. You have one today and break it apart where it's nice and quiet, and it's got just like this nice, satisfying sound. Darks, you got your warm front here, but to the north, plenty of snow for Chicago, much of southern Michigan, and a frontal boundary back here into Texas, which right now is quiet. We'll pick up later on today. High pressure continues. I kind of make out where that rain is coming down. You look off to where you can see the definition of the clouds, and then all of a sudden you no longer can see the definition. It's just kind of like white. So here it is, right about here is where we're seeing that rain. And you're looking from downtown Abbeville. This is south, so Hug and Molly's would be down this road, and then eventually you'd come to 431. There's a Hardee's there in the gas. You're looking actually at a rain shaft is what we call it. When you see it from a distance and all of a sudden you've got what looks like a column extending to the ground, that's some really heavy rain. I showed it in first weather, that little cell that was moving across 231 south. It's now more or less to the south and east of Dothan, but pretty cool to see that off in the distance. But that's what we're looking at today. Pouring rain, then sun. Maybe another round of rain, and then sun, and then maybe we'll wrap up later on this evening with that rainfall and turn drier. Here for the second edition of Where's Evan and Where Am I Exactly? I'm out at Lake Defuniak in the beautiful Defuniak Springs, Florida. It's over in Walton County, as you may know from weather reports. First day of June, and looking back at May, it was an interesting month, one that started out fairly dry but cool. Ended up below average by about 1.5 inches of rainfall. This is at Dothan. We received just over 2 inches of rainfall, but all of that came on one day. One day we had over 1 inch of rain. And then as you look at our temperatures, the coolest we got was 48 degrees. That happened twice, on the 7th and 8th of May. Our warmest temperature was 91. This because I know it's a question that's not just on my mind, but I've had people come up and ask me, is it okay to put away those winter clothes? So if you're that type of person who has, you keep that stored away that time of year and then you bring the summer clothes back in, this is about as cold as we're going to get. It's a bigger eye, probably about a 40-mile diameter, and then it gets down to almost like a pinhole. It's hitting these mountains here. They're about 3,000 to 4,000 feet high, and what that does, it disrupts the wind flow around the middle. Hurricanes don't like that. That's why they form over open water, no friction. Temperatures are going to be right around 90, upper 80s to lower 90s. Again, that feels like temperature, though, around that time of day is going to be close to, if not in the triple digits. We have mainly clear skies, few high clouds out there at worst. Let's look at the day planner for today. As Lisa just alluded to, it's easy to look at that afternoon temperature of 62. And if that's your ideal weather, if 62, 63 degrees and sunshine is your ideal forecast, we'll get there. We're not there yet, though. We're going to be cold over the next couple of hours by 8 o'clock into the 40s. Out of the storm and how it's going, the winds and the water are going with it. So the storm surge there, probably with the 116-mile-an-hour winds, had something to do with that. Also, Tyndall Air Force Base, which is kind of right in between Panama City and Mexico Beach, confirmed 129 mile-an-hour wind gusts. Cape San Blas at 106 miles an hour. Port St. Joe at 113. And as you get further to the east, it looked like they died down. The highest confirmed I could find for Apalachicola was 89 miles an hour. However, that was much earlier in the day. Still haven't been able to find a confirmed report, but then you look at the one in Mariana. Well, the bling in your ring is a product of the most violent kind of explosion in the universe. While observing a galaxy 130 million light years away, NASA scientists became the first to see a gamma ray burst caused by two neutron stars smashing into each other. So what does this mean to you and to me? In May of 2019, we never got cooler than 54 degrees, and we got as hot as 100 degrees. For an Enterprise, thanks for sending that in. You could be part of the end of our show. There's the address on your screen or an email. That works just as well. Carmen?
Talk about those low clouds. You see how close they were to his head?
I mean, he's in the clouds, man. I guess if you bring the rain,
he's either a giant or those clouds are really low.